Hello everyone. Namaste. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about Venus in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha. So if you have your Venus in the sign of Scorpio and in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, then this video is for you. Before we move ahead, don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon below so that you get regular updates. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com, and under the readings and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Also, I have courses available at the same website under courses option. Okay, so let's get started with Venus in Jyeshtha nakshatra. So Jyeshtha, whenever I see Venus in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, I see power, I see money, I see abundance of money along with power. Right? So that is the conclusion words I've given to you. Right? So before getting into this analysis, we first need to understand what does Venus mean. So whatsoever we are going to discuss today here in this video, that is going to represent certain areas of your life. So with Venus, it's not just your spouse. Venus definitely is going to tell you about the traits of your spouse, but it is also about how you interact in love, how you see a relationship, or what karma do you have with relationships? How do you work around with relationships? That is what your Venus stands for. Venus is the planet of luxury, planet of pleasures, desires, materialistic, luxury, basically. It is arts, it is any form of arts. It is artistic, it's creative, it's designing. Not only that, Venus represents your relationship with your family. It represents your vocal cord, how you speak, how impactful your voice is. And all of this I'm saying because Venus rules the second house and the seventh house. So since Venus is the lord of Taurus and it is also the lord of the sign of Libra, the seventh house, it is also going to represent how your business is going to be. If you are into business, how your income is going to come towards you. What sort of possessions are you going to have? What sort of materialistic inclinations do you have? Like, are you inclined more towards luxurious spendings, or are you inclined more towards investments or something like that? So your income, your relationship with the family, your relationship with the partner, your business, how people perceive you, everything is seen by Venus. So now when Venus goes into the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, that means it is going to be in the sign of Scorpio. So I would address this, Venus being in the sign of Scorpio in some limited words, because I've already talked about it in the video of Vishakha, in the video of Anuradha as well. Now, when you have Venus in the sign of Scorpio, this means that you have intense attachment with love. When it comes to love and relationships, you are a person who intensely gets involved into that. You transform through your relationships, through your love encounters. Love is something that leads you towards spirituality. Your relationships are such a way that you are willing to do anything and everything for the people you love. But if you are deceived, but if you're not reciprocated, you are the biggest enemy. You don't work well with deception, especially towards the Jyeshtha side. Deception is not in the list. It's like if you get into a relationship, the relationship is the world to you. So you also want the other person to have the same opinion with relationships. You don't work well when you are cheated on. And with Scorpio, a person is very, very intense and sexual. Sexual intimacy matters for them. Okay, now if you have your Venus in Jyeshtha nakshatra, first of all, Jyeshtha nakshatra starts from 16 degrees 40 minutes of Scorpio, and it is extended till 30 minutes of Scorpio. Right? Yeah. So the planet that rules this nakshatra is Mercury. You would see all the nakshatras that are ruled by Mercury, be it be Ashlesha, be it be Jyeshtha, be it be Revati. All of them are very sensitive when it's about love. So Venus, when goes into such nakshatras, a person is well connected with the definition of love. They get envious easily, they get jealous easily, they want to possess the other person, they want to get involved into the other person's life. So, because Mercury is the planet of observance, Mercury is a planet who goes into it's not like who goes into research or depth of things, but if Mercury indulges into something, he is curious to know everything. That, Mercury is curious to understand all the aspects. He is not going to ignore even a slightest thing there. So that's what happens with the nakshatras of Mercury. So especially when Venus is in this nakshatra, it's like an energy of Venus, Mars, and Mercury all together. First of all, because of this particular combination, you will see you may experience transformation through your relationships because of verbal battles, because of misunderstandings. You definitely are an individual. If you are in love, if you are in a relationship, you set your goal towards that person and you just work towards achieving them. You are going to do anything and everything in your power. And since this is the water sign, you will do that Sam Dham Dand Ved. I don't know, whenever I speak in English, meri Hindi ko kya ho jata hai. So you are going to do anything in your power so as to achieve the power over that person. If this Jyeshtha nakshatra of Venus is afflicted, then it can act very obsessive. But if it is not, then it just means that you require, or you feel, I have to take care of this individual. Because with Jyeshtha, who was Jyeshtha? Jyeshtha was the eldest one. So you will first see that your partner, your spouse is going to be the eldest one. And you are going to act as the eldest one among your family. Even if you are not the eldest one, either you are going to be, or even if you are the youngest, you are going to behave like the eldest one. You are a person who takes the responsibility of the people they love. With Venus specifically in this nakshatra, you feel responsible for the well-being of the ones who are closer to you or you love. And this is a beautiful thing with Jyeshtha, with Venus in Jyeshtha specifically, you always want to take whole of your family along. Although you do want to remain in power, but you want to take your family along. Especially if you have Venus in Jyeshtha, your spouse is also going to be such an individual. He or she is going to be the responsible one for the family. He or she is going to be a dedicated person towards their responsibilities, and they would want to get that respect and power along with what they are doing. That is only expectation. You give them power, they are all yours. You give them credibility of their actions, of their of their love towards you, they are all yours. So with Jyeshtha as being the eldest one, this is the theme that comes in. Another thing, that Jyeshtha was very jealous of Rohini, because Rohini became the favorite one of Moon out of the 27 wives. So that's why Jyeshtha is very prone to become jealous. So when you have Venus in this nakshatra, you become jealous very easily. Even your spouse becomes jealous very easily. So both of you are going to try to control each other when it's about such things, when it's about other men, other women. Okay, with Mercury, these people are fine observers. Fine observers. They are good with communication, but rather they are good with good with communication, as in they are good diplomats. Now, if I talk about professions, before I go into other details of this nakshatra, the professions that are going to associate for you and even for your spouse, those are going to be insurance business, where you manage other people's finances and assets. So you can be a portfolio manager, or you or your spouse can be portfolio manager. You can be brokers. You can be insurance agents. You can be any sort of commission workers. You can even be accountants. You can even be wealth managers. Or with Jyeshtha, I've also seen people to be at very good positions. I told you, the only word with them is power. They thrive for power. So the nakshatras like Vishakha, mostly which are associated with Indra somehow, the Vishakha, Kritika nakshatra, although it is not much, but Kritika nakshatra, and this Jyeshtha nakshatra, these are the ones who either get themselves involved into government facilities, government jobs. But when Venus is in this nakshatra in Jyeshtha, money is there. I've seen number of people with Venus Sun conjunction, Venus Mars Sun conjunction, Venus Jupiter conjunction, Venus Mars Jupiter conjunction in this particular nakshatra, and also in the nakshatra of Vishakha. I've seen multi-millionaires. I've seen millionaires with that. I've seen people with good money with that. And also, this is the legacy creator, because Jyeshtha was the nakshatra where Venus was born. Scorpio was the sign where Venus was born. That's why these people leave a legacy. They have interest in occult. They have interest in research into deeper aspects of life, and also deeper aspects of finances and communication. Because this is the this is the nakshatra ruled by Mercury. There's the energy of Venus, Mars, and Mercury. So any profession that you do is going to be being involved into technicalities which are done using communications or using calculations, numbers. Okay, now let's talk about the deity. The deity of this nakshatra is the Indra. I think astrology is incomplete without Indra, because somewhere or the other, when you'll read about mythology through nakshatras, Indra just pops up. And he pops up in very funny manners, in very funny way and very powerful way indeed. Somehow I have started finding my inclination to this subject, because I want to deeply know about Indra, because Indra was a man of so many qualities. He was the biggest diplomat, I would say. Whenever he has to conquer, he used to conquer. Whenever he has to bow down and manipulate, he used to do that. Whenever he has to win over, he does that. Whenever he has to act like a king, he does that. So Indra is the deity of this nakshatra. It is not like Vishakha. It is not co-ruled by Agni. It's purely Indra. It's purely diplomacy. It's purely manipulation and politics. Indra was the one who did all those shenanigans just in order to save his throne. That much importance that throne and that respect that Oda had for him, that he did everything just in order to save that throne and keep it to himself. So these people, whether it is about their relationships or it is about their finances, once you show them, I have a car more luxurious than yours, the next day they'll start earning or start doing something in their life that they could afford even the more luxurious car than what you have. So first of all, they get envious in this manner, especially on the materialistic aspects. And also when it's about love, they get envious when anyone else put an eye on their, on their partner. Right? So another thing, they have they have something with royalty, because Indra had his weapon, the Vajra, right? So using that, he used to create all that, he used to control lightning, he used to control the thunderstorms and everything. That's what Indra is about. So that Vajra of his shows his power. It's a powerful weapon. That shows that these people always have a powerful weapon with them. I've seen people having Venus and Moon in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha. They always keep something in their, car, or so as to feel safe. It can be, it's more of a, not a sharp object, but something which makes them look royal. They are manipulators, but they are diplomatic as well. But they never back down from a fight. They back down only if they have alternative ways of, completing that fight. Right? This nakshatra very closely represents Lord Ganesha, or the statue of Hathi, elephant, because this nakshatra basically represents Indra sitting on his, what do we call, vehicle, which was considered as elephant. I think I wrote his name. His name was Eravat. So that's why this is Jyeshtha is particularly that side of nakshatra, which is the image of Eravat along with Indra holding that Vajra, and they are going for a fight. They are going for achieving their throne. So that's about power. Right? So Indra used to love drinks, used to love soma. So these people, most of all, especially with Venus and especially with Moon as well, these individuals love to have drinks. Now, those drinks can be alcohol as well. They can be addicted to alcohol also, but that could also be and now when I'm talking about alcohol, it could be any type of alcohol. Most of all, like with nakshatras like Mrigashara, it's more of wine or premium scotches. But these people with Venus in this nakshatra, they also have a particular taste about alcohol. And if it's not alcohol, they love to have sharbat. They love to have sweet water, in the form of sharbat, or in the form, and even not just sweet, the masaledar water as well, like jaljeera or something like that. So they just love to have drinks. They love to have, feel hydrated so as to have their energy. And there was also one instance that I read in mythology, which was associated with this nakshatra. That was that Indra seduced the wife of a sage. His name was, I guess, Gautam. And I think his wife's name was Ahilya. Yeah, Ahilya. He seduced Ahilya, and he was like, he mated with her, because of which Gautam gave him the curse that he would have 1,000 vaginas. And later down the lane, since he was Indra, he could never, digest having being cursed from someone. He somehow converted that curse into 1,000 eyes. That's why it is said that, first of all, Jyeshtha individual, especially in their teens, especially with Venus in Jyeshtha or Rahu in Jyeshtha, even Mercury in Jyeshtha, they have a tendency to lure other person's partner. They have the tendency. And even I remember someone wrote in Quora, I think that is a website where you answer the questions. There someone wrote, Jyeshtha is like a nakshatra. If the person is not willing to get into a sexual relationship with them, they are going to just just go into their home, break in their home and just have the encounter with them. And they just, this is not that I'm saying these people have a tendency of doing such a thing. That is just, I'm referring to what it was written. But these people want to feel that power through love. So that's why they can be a bit forceful when it comes to love, right? It's their expression of love. They show their love through dominance. So if in your life, howsoever, whensoever, have you interacted with a person with Venus in Jyeshtha, you would have understood this about them. That if you are, suppose, for example, if you are a person, if you're a partner, your partner has Venus in Jyeshtha, and you see that you are being annoyed on something and you're not talking to them, they'll be like, oh, come on, talk to me. Don't do like this. They don't have an expression to to pamper you and let you know that, yeah, I love you, and so talk to me, don't feel like this. They'll be like, talk to me. So that kind of a command is there. Okay. And same is something that they do with authority, and they do within their career, so as to achieve that success platform. Okay. So also with this 1,000 eyes, and also with the animal as the male deer, these people have their eyes all around. They are excellent detectives, they are excellent researchers. You want to find something out, ask a Jyeshtha or a Mula person to do that. But with Jyeshtha, a person is well aware of how they need to get things done. So nowadays, I definitely know this is because of the influence of solar eclipse, especially the dominance in the sign of Pisces. I and my husband have been watching a lot of videos, not videos, a lot of series on terrorism. So and it also involves diplomats. It also involves how people have investigated. Like back 2 days back, we were watching Diplomat, and I think yesterday we were watching that in series that we have on how Osama bin Laden was killed by the US Army, right? So there we, the kind of intelligent forces you will see, who finds out, who verifies information. And the diplomat series, you will see John Abraham to just very diplomatically, he did everything, and he got that lady out of Pakistan. That is something you would see in Jyeshtha individuals. So that's where this 1,000 eyes element comes around. And also that's where the animal totem as male deer comes around, because male deer is vigilant, right? Male deer it's like, the deer is beautiful to the eye. Deer is it's one of the animal who is admired for its beauty. So that's what is there with Venus and Jyeshtha. They love to admire beauty. They love to admire artistic elements. So male deer is also very sexual in nature, right? So this also shows their sexuality, that they are also quite sexual in nature. And you will see that this is something related to your spouse, that your spouse is going to be very sexual in nature. Your spouse is going to be quite alert, quite vigilant. Your spouse is going to be very attractive with their personality and with their way of communication with people, with their way of convincing and negotiating with others. And also as a part of their career, they have a very good personality. Your partners are going to have a very soothing personality, in a way, very convincing personality. Okay. Now the next and the last, I think it's the last one, yeah. Now the symbols that we have for this nakshatra. So the symbols are earrings, umbrella, and the circular amulet. Okay, so see, first of all, I'll talk about umbrella. So umbrella is what? It is the protection, right? It is something that provides us protection from the sunlight and also protects us from the rain. So this nakshatra, especially with Venus in this nakshatra, your partner becomes very, very protective over you. And even you become very, very protective over your partner, and especially over your relationships, right? These people love to have those sheds in their home, or they love to have, lunch or dinners at those places which have canopies. This is very common in Paris, that they have canopies, and then you sit under them on table, and you have your wine and your pizza and everything. So that is a kind of warmth they want. They love to give warmth to the other people, so they are very hospitable as well. Whenever you come, you go to a place, you go to the place of a Jyeshtha individual, you will see, especially with Venus. Also you can see with moon, but especially with Venus, they will make you have all the good food. They will be very hospitable. They will make you have all the comforts. They would never make you have any, किसी चीज की कमी नहीं होने देंगे. ऐसे रहता है, right? So this is one thing. Another thing is with airing. So when I think about airing with Jyeshtha, especially with Venus and Jyeshtha, I just can't picture, suppose, a male having an earring in one of their, ear, a diamond earring or a zircon earring. Like in Punjab, we have jat, there's the men look very, very nice when they have the pierced ear, and they wear like a golden round earring, or they have a stud, a stud with diamond, and that gives them, their personality, a very royal touch. That's what this earring is about. And when it's about females, especially with Venus in this nakshatra, you love to collect earrings. You love to collect earrings either with studded jewels or studded diamonds specifically. You just love gemstones. You love different sorts of, jewels and gems. That's why you will see these people can also work into gemology, in gemstones. Okay, they can also work very well as I want yeah, as a jeweler, but more of a diamond jeweler or a gemstone jeweler. Okay, so yeah, I think that was all about this nakshatra. So I hope I've covered everything. Yeah. So I hope this gives you good insights into this nakshatra and how do you, understand this nakshatra. And one more thing, the remedy of this nakshatra would be, if you keep a brass figure of a elephant, or even of Lord Ganesha, especially in the southeast, that is going to work very well with your victory towards this, towards your relationships. Okay. So, guys, this was my analysis. I hope it gives you good insights, right? See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.